All right. There we go. Now the mic's kicking in. Salutations, class, and oops. Salutations, class, and welcome back. How is everyone doing this evening? We are hopping back into Pokemon FireRed, probably our last stream of this game. I've been thinking a lot about playing more Pokemon games, and I'm excited. Hello, could you get running for me? There we go. Ah, game audio isn't captured. So, with the new schedule, I am getting home very, very close to stream time, and accordingly, it's been a little bit difficult to prep things in advance for stream, so it might end up happening where I might make certain days a little bit later for our usual streams. Maybe, maybe not. Where we last left off, we've been wandering around in the Sevi Islands. We've gotten 6 and 7 Island done, and we are back here in Vermilion City. We have access to quite a few of the extra legendaries. What I'd like to do for tonight's stream, well, one, we've already got the big rematch with the Elite Four to do, and around that, if we have more time, or if we just need to kill more time, we'll be in between leveling up and doing some more grinding to get our Mons leveled up to face them, because I think they get up to like level 70 something towards the end. Otherwise, we can end up having a jolly good old time running around capturing some legendaries. We still haven't gone and grabbed Moltres or Articuno, and there's the legendary dogs and the other legendary birds. Of course, there's also... wait a minute. I knew I was forgetting something. We've got one more big thing we can do before we tackle the Elite... well, no. Let's do that after we test out our metal against the Elite Four again. Prep is tricky lately, settled on using a picker wheel at times. Yeah, it wasn't too bad for me to prep for this stream. I already knew what I was going to play. I just didn't have a whole bunch of stuff set up for very long before stream, and I decided I'd take a cat nap right before stream and wake up for things. On top of that, I've also got me some coffee to help keep me woken up for later. So, let's think. Amulet coin we can definitely end up using a lot. Leftovers would be great for someone who is survivable, of which I think Blocky's holding them. Bugsy would also be great to hold them as well. Mostly because Bugsy's gonna have to take most of the heat with that first match against the Ice Trainers. The Ice Trainer. Amulet coin is really good, and we will have to end up buying a lot of recovery items. So, Lucky Egg, leftovers. Who's holding the up? Okay, good, you're holding the other leftovers. So we need an item for Nitori and Kageyama. Not really anything that specifically works for Kageyama, so we can kind of give him whatever. I don't want to use too many berries, because they're a bit harder to get more copies up in this game. Yeah, I guess we don't give you an item, and Nitori ends up holding on to the Mystic Water. Warmest welcomes to Marky, Storm, Tyr, glad to see all of y'all. How are y'all doing this evening? Alright, I think our team is mostly set together. Oh right, we want Aerial Ace on Bugsy. I actually think we might be able to beat both of the first two Elite Four just with Bugsy. He won't have quite as good of a matchup versus Bruno as he did before, but just having a really, really strong Aerial Ace helps. Yeah, Rock Smash is the thing we want to get rid of. Not quite the speed that he used to have. That Steel type's gonna help with just about everything. Yeah, we've got plenty of flying type power to fight against Bruno. Lorelei is not going to be that difficult either. Agatha, well, we've got Bite on Nitori, but we don't really have anything else anti-ghost specifically. That's right, some of their mons are going to be swapped around because it's going to be National Dex now, isn't it? I think Blocky just having a normal type to resist their stab should be good enough. Psychic to also hit most of the Gengars. And we don't need to talk any bit about how we're taking care of dragons. Alright, I think we're good to go. Wait, just double checking. That was Fly, right? Yeah, Fly, Dragon Claw, Flamethrower, and Ice Beam. We are good to go. While we're trying to farm for experience, if we've got someone we're expecting to take on most of the enemies that we have in a single Elite Four member, let's give him the Lucky Egg. And then leftovers go over to Blocky since we don't have an Eviolite here to abuse. Bum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. Oh yeah, we've got plenty of cash. We don't need to worry about pretty much anything here. We'll focus on max potions, revives, and full heals. We're not the kind of scumbag like these Elite Four trainers who use healing items in the middle of a fight. We're just going to be using them in between fights to replenish. And there goes about half of our dosh, but we shouldn't have to worry about too much more after this. Let's start off strong. After all, most of the legendaries we'll be fighting will be between level 50 and level 70 here. Got any new lines for us? Welcome to the Pokemon League. I, Lorelei of the Elite Four, have returned. You know how it goes. No one can best me when it comes to icy Pokemon. Freezing moves are powerful. Your Pokemon will be at my mercy when they are frozen solid. Ha ha ha! Are you ready? You know what would be cool? Having, like, a specifically designed team in which you have one Pokemon that can sweep every single member of the Elite Four and or the champion, and just running like a lead Ninjask with Protect and Baton Pass. Scum Elite Four wouldn't be too far off as they were villainous antagonists in the manga. I didn't know that. Also, we've got an interesting situation here. Dugong is going to partially resist Steel Wing, but I mean, it comes back out to neutral damage. Oh, 64. Yeah, we are, we're in for a doozy here. Bugsy's not even gonna have a chance for up front so easily. So maybe we do have quite a bit of grinding through Cerulean Cave to get through first. After all, we've fought pretty much all the trainers up to this point. I forgot that was a Gen 3 move. I didn't even know Dugong could learn it. Well, we've got a lot of ice weaknesses otherwise. Funny enough, Nitori actually has a pretty good matchup here just from water being the thing most reliable as a counter to water and ice. I think we just gotta risk it. Hey, really good start, but we get Ice Beam now. So when we come out to having even levels later, this will be a lot easier to work with. I wonder if 2-stab Drill Pecks are gonna do enough to equal 1 Thunder. Well, no, it won't be super effective, so it'll be, yeah, pretty big difference. Hey, we struck it lucky twice, though. Lorelei's gonna gatekeep us super hard, though. You also get thundered. Ah, but we can't hit every time. So we want a special attack versus you. Cloister's gonna be slow. Not slower than Blocky, but I think Blocky's the most reliable way for us to guarantee a one-hit KO here. Oh, a rain dance we could have abused earlier for sure. Funny that it's not hail. Yeah, Cloister has absolutely no special defense. Beautifully done, Blocky. Ice resists ice, so we don't really get more damage off of using Ice Beam here. I mean, ever so slightly, because it's 95 power versus 90. See, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking it would be an Earthquake or an Ice Beam. If we don't get the KO here, check this out. I'm so proud of Blocky. Evolving made them really, really stronger. Way stronger. Yep, we get that swap out there, and Piloswine shouldn't have enough special defense or anything really to resist surviving this. To be able to survive. Oh, well, never mind. That's definitely a KO on Sidewinder. I'm surprised. Yeah, we're gonna lose our whole team here, but with a few good level ups, we should be able to survive. Alright. I think if we wipe here, we just have to go grinding in Cerulean Cave a bit. You are going to give us the most trouble. And yeah, we don't really have anyone left who beats you too well. Maybe Blocky. I think Lapras gets water absorbed too. Yeah, nothing we can do. Really interesting that Lapras learns Thunderbolt and Thunder. Like, that was such a good mon in earlier generations. And y'all can tell I haven't quite warmed up yet with my speech patterns. Yeah, I did just wake up from a nap. Funny how Bugsy will be the last to go down. We expected him to be the one that would take care of this entire gym. But we do have a lot of water and ice in the first generation. Stab, that's gonna hurt. I'm impressed though, Blocky. Shame we don't have Eviolite spam to abuse here. Oh, wait, we have a chance. We could do like a toxic recover stall Porygon otherwise. If we did have Eviolite. I think Jinx basically does nothing to both of our remaining Pokemon as long as we don't get Lovely Kissed. I'm going to risk the recover. Yeah, still fast and strong enough. I think we land... Even with that little health, I don't know that a resist saves us. Yep, nope, that's game. Also... Oh, wow. I did not expect him to survive. Well, here's our own IRL Pokemon to assist. The Scrunko arrives, but the Scrunko arrives too late. Well, since we don't have to worry about doing a lot of healing stuff. Ready, get, set, go! Popping us with the Rhythm Doctor, Nobo? How you doing? So I think if we try that again, like, if we have a routine to pretty reliably clean up the first 2 Elite Four members, I think that makes the most difference. So we'll take the lucky egg from you and give it to someone who might even be able to sweep, like, the first couple of matches. Nobo's technically done with retakes. Let's go! Check my money? We've got plenty. You say technically, but because there are 3 more, but like, we as in the whole class are probably... Oh, are y'all having those, university professors that tend to make things a bit too hard? I did have one university professor and... Okay, hold on. Scrunko is way too in front of my face. I did have one university professor who made the test way too difficult on purpose, and then just adjusted everyone's grade on a curve according to who generally performed the best in the class. Half the money? No. It was only about 6K. I think it's a flat amount. So Dugong probably goes for an Ice Beam here, meaning we can probably pop off a Rain Dance and survive. Just barely. Not like it's gonna matter, I guess. We don't end up KOing here. Yeah, not quite. Really? And then you go for Surf. We don't really have any setup mons. I wish we had Dragon Dance on Dragonite, but I think that's an egg move. Only setup mon we have is also one who's very slow. How much does a Steel Wing do? Probably not much in the end. Scizor does have great attack though. Yeah, that would be pretty good if we were in an even level, but not while we're behind. I think we just end up wiping again. The one subject that is not clicking with anybody, apparently. The teacher has been using the same PDF since before you were even born. But now I have AI. So you ended up getting a professor who just doesn't care, which I am sorry to hear. I sense a Surf coming up. That is not Surf. Why did you not hit Surf? Surf would have done more damage versus Scizor. So yeah, we would get a one-hit KO on Dugong otherwise. Huh, weird thing to be fishing for. So really, whenever we come back around with Zapdos, Zapdos probably can sweep everything except, like, Piloswine reliably with just Rain Dance and then Thunder. Gets rid of Cloyster, gets rid of Lapras, and gets rid of Dugong. Heck, it probably gets rid of Jinx, too. Piloswine's the only issue there. Rain Dance boosted Surf should get a KO here. I don't know about Piloswine being all that great in Gen 3. Yeah. Mamoswine is great. Piloswine, not quite so much. This is where we unfortunately trade 1 for 1. Oh, hey! It's simple, we just have to flinch every single time this hits. Oh, that'll work too. I'm surprised this is working this long. There we go. Hey, that's a health threshold low enough that Porygon should be able to Thunderbolt. Now, if we can get through to Bruno... Yeah, not quite. Why would you do that? Surf or Ice Beam would hit harder. And more accurately. Also, Fooey. Here comes the full restore. Yep. It's funny, I thought about using a Steel type to beat all the Ice types, but no, once again, a Fighting type would have been better against everything but Jinx. Yeah, that would be way better than Thunder. That will do less damage than Ice Beam. Ah, that might win. I mean, we can score a few good level ups here. But yeah, it's like that first Dugong that we don't have any way to immediately KO. And otherwise, kind of reliably faces off against anything that we have. Three exams are one for each semester, and they are pretty close to each other. They're also next week, and you're honestly just planning on retake. Aw, don't do that. I think Jinx gets Oblivious, so really we're just kind of hoping on lucky Sleep Powder, I guess? Yeah, no. We lose to Jinx, too. Kageyama will not have the special defense to face off against any of that. And no Bullet Punch. I mean, I would suggest trying to... Yeah, it's only 6,000 that we end up losing. I don't think you learn the entire subject matter in 2 weeks. Like, you should kind of remember most of what was happening during the semester. Which hopefully is enough to get you across whatever line you needed. But yeah, we are not fighting the Elite Four just yet. We're going to want to fish out a few more levels. I can't remember if Cerulean Cave has some puzzle stuff going on, but we know there's at least a trainer in front of it who's going to challenge us. Yeah, get that out. Isn't this the last route numerically? Yeah, like everything else is... Yeah, I think it's funny that they have all that happen towards the beginning of the game. I really, really like that the Kanto region and kind of the way that you navigate through it is a lot less obligatorily linear. Granted, there's very oh! The guy standing in front there isn't there. Welcome, Kahila. Why is it playing, like, Team Rocket music in here? My point being, Nobo, I do believe in you. Oh, trust me, Kahila, Unova, I think, ends up coming back around to my favorite region anyway. Like, already Gen 5, like, Black and White, the Pokemon roster that we get in Gen 5, all that stuff, very easily my favorite. Yeah, see, everything in here is going to be very, very high level, but still a lot more manageable. Yeah, we'll do some level grinding in here. Very well, Novo. Take what you can get, I'd say. Oh. Oh, hardy nature. I thought that said hasty nature. I remember us getting a neutral one. That fucking cat that I hate. I mean, it's a plan for sometime this stream. I don't know if doing this before the Elite Four is the plan. That'd be one easy way to make sure that we get through to the end. Just go out, catch every legendary, and then come back to the Elite Four with all of them prepared. Well, we're doing the champion rematch here, is the thing here. Yeah, and we can't. Yep. I forgot Wobbuffet was in here. This is gonna be a nightmare. Yeah, why is there a Johto Pokemon in my Kanto cave? That was a few episodes ago. I mean, the big telltale sign is you did see us fight in the Elite Four, and they had Johto Pokemon on the team. Plus, there's a Johto Pokemon right here in front of us. So yeah, we have beaten the Elite Four. We're going in for the rematch now. And oh goodness. I think we'll be fine with everything up until the champion and that Tyranitar. Who beats them? Well, I think Sidewinder beats themselves most reliably. Nah, this is pretty close to vanilla FireRed, except for just having all the leaf green Pokemon in the encounter list. And then, like, post-game stuff, there's a lot more creature comforts that we have. Any of the chances where we have to pick a specific mon? Yeah, Brick Break. We can't get Brick Break on Scizor yet. What a shame. That would have actually been incredible for getting through the Elite Four. Can Scizor learn Superpower this generation? I mean, that's not going to be accessible here. That would have been the move tutor in Emerald. French vanilla is a good way to put it. Yeah, like, post-game you can get whatever Hitmon that you didn't get previously. You get all the other starters. It's set up to where you can complete your 150 Pokemon in the Pokédex. In the Kanto Pokédex. As well as, like, all the events are accessible in this one. So we could also just go grab Raikou and Entei and Suicune right now if we wanted. But other than that, it is fairly vanilla for FireRed. Wait, can we not get superpower in Emerald on Scizor either? Is that not in Scizor's Gen 3 Learn list? What the heck were they doing? That's drill peck fodder if I've ever seen one. And Scizor was still good? Wasn't Scizor still OU? Just goes to show how different the power level was. Okay, but Reversal would actually go hard on an agility set. Was so close to filling the whole dex for Red and 3DS, just couldn't get Mewtwo. Understandable. I got my whole dex minus Magmar in my first FireRed playthrough. That was the only game that I really cared about. Oh, gotta catch them all. Yep, I meant to go one more. I think we can still do this. We don't have a fire tap. I'm not gonna waste my time with that. Did we do the funny old man thing? What's the funny old man thing? Something with Professor Oak? That Skronko's looking for himself a real comfy position on my keyboard. The Cinnabar glitch for... Oh, talking to Tyr specifically. Technician rock smash wouldn't even be that bad. You know what would be funny? If Scizor got power-up punch of all things. Fighting type move, Technician. There are a lot of rocks to smash in here. Welcome back, Nobo. Why are there stairs? I mean, someone put them here in the cave in case someone needed to climb up some stairs. I think that's pretty obvious. Yeah, you know, stairs. That phenomenon that naturally occurs in caves. I like how most of the Pokemon in here are just the same level as the ones we already have on our team. So, if we really needed to fill a hole in our team, we could just grab someone from in the cave here. To nerf U-turn to 55 BP. I felt like there would have been an item there. After all, Gen 1 design wouldn't put us into any dead ends, would it? Okay, level 50 Graveler has to actually be worth some XP, though. See ya, Nobo. I'm glad that we don't have to worry about the the prospect of Technician U-turn. That would be terrifying. Each game has a unique design for this game. I believe it. What was the case in the original Red and Blue? Was it only open after the Elite Four? Did they even have anything for Elite Four rematch setup specifically? I wish we had a Pokemon that could have used Zap Cannon, because Zap Cannon is such a cool move. And it's been here forever, but it's never been, like, a good attack. And it still makes me so mad that in Puppet Dance Performance, there was a Toho that could have used Zap Cannon with no guard, and then lost it in an updated patch. They just could no longer have no guard Zap Cannon. Post-game exclusive and no rematches. Alright, simple enough. Funny how there's 3 different variants of just looking at your opponent very, very angrily, and they all do slight variations of the same thing. You paralyze them, you slow them down, or you prevent them from fleeing. Just give them the old evil eye. Scrunko is wanting some cuddles. Okay, seeing the distribution of mons that we're finding in here, let's put you in front for a bit. Oh, Lear as well. Okay, that one does do something different. Yeah, you did mention Zap Cannon Fortress, but that's not, like, an optimal option. I feel like that's just kind of a thing that's slapped on there as, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Situational? But then again, in Gen 3, I imagine Fortress doesn't have too much else that it does other than, like, spikes. But yeah, we did talk about the Zap Cannon Fortress. Heck, do y'all just want to shoot for going for Mewtwo anyway? That would be a heck of a move, grabbing Mewtwo and then going back through the Elite Four. I suppose you do have a point, Kahila. Still, that ends up being like a 50% gamble there. Oh, what do you mean that wasn't a KO? Three times speed for the game to grind fast? That sounds like a blast. Though, technically, we aren't omitted from using that option here either. I feel like we have a much better chance to KO Parasect with an Ice Beam. Oh, still not quite enough. Really? Dodrio mode is funny. Yes, I am just gonna keep swapping between our team members because it's not like Parasect's gonna hit Spore every single time. If only we had a Heal Bell Cleric. I need a playthrough with a Wish Heal Bell cleric. I don't know who usually fills that role. Right, medicine is also in this pocket. Pretty much a lot of the Eevee line could do that, I believe, right? I did use a Wish Sylveon in the past. That was a really, really good mon to have. I was actually one of my Gen 6 Battle Tower members. I remember that when I was grinding through the Generation 6, and I think I might have even used the same team for Gen 7. Grinding through the Battle Tower, I would have Lead Weakness Policy Aegislash, Mega Charizard X with just the usual Dragon Dance set as you'd expect, and a physically defensive Cleric Sylveon. Wish, Hyper Voice, all the other stuff you'd expect. Pretty boring team, but they all synergize with each other pretty well. We need to make sure we get that KO in there. I think it would be good going through battle facilities with some of the later generations again. We haven't had any 3DS game runs. Of course, I'd still love to revisit Black 2. Or, you know, any of the ROM hacks out there, actually. They probably have a lot more fun stuff to do in the battle facilities. I enjoy a good grinding out as many of those battles as possible. Stuck in this maze up here full of nothing. I almost feel like we should have kept Machamp on our team. Marissa ended up hitting a lot of other types that we don't have. But Machamp is so much stronger in Gen 4. I think whenever we do another Gen 4 run, it's gotta have Machamp. No guard, dynamic punch, stone edge, all that. Yeah, but Ditto won't give us too much experience before transforming. Looks like there's nothing up on either of those spots. If only we had Aqua Jet, that would have made the finishing blow on so many of these much easier. There's so many good moves that we get in Gen 4 that I just wholeheartedly miss. I miss Roost, I miss Bullet Punch. I miss Heat Wave on my Zapdos. Howdy, Mal. How are you doing? I don't think I miss Close Combat. Close Combat kind of sets a dangerous precedent. I like Crobat a lot too, Tyr. I've built up some Brave Bird lead Crobats in the past. I think we can use quite a few of those PP ups and PP maxes. It's pretty much going to matter here when we're getting up against the Elite Four, any of the moves that we really need to use multiple times. Like Thunder, I think is where it comes into play. Doing alright, but distracted? Completely fine. I mean, tonight's more of a vibe stream than anything else. We're just doing a bit of grinding right before we get back into fighting the Elite Four again. Seeing what all we got in Cerulean Cave here. And, you know, we have the resources to catch Mewtwo if we want to. I think we've already explored everywhere that those ladders can take us. Yeah, I was wondering where we'd have someone that Kageyama could fight. Yeah, you need quite a few levels, buddy. Yeah, I thought Cerulean Cave was longer, but I think it's mostly just a lot of extra branching paths. I don't think we've got too much farther to go. Ah, is it this ladder? Not too much experience, but we'll take it. Huh. May you share a silly experience? Go ahead, Kahila. Always happy to chat around here. I mean, especially while we're level grinding. What else are we gonna do? Just sit here and watch me silently stare at the screen and hit attack over and over again? We'll heal you. I think we'll put Nitori in the back soon. How are we... Yeah, how are we accessing that path? Ooh, level 61. Yeah, we want to swap out. Quadruple resist, I will take that. We don't have aerial ace, though. Interesting selection of Pokemon we got in here, too. Like, a lot of different types. And not usually cave dwellers, either. Okay, so, Cheese. The other day, your friend hits you with a 6-7 because what are two vaguely 30-year-olds gonna be doing? Makes you feel so defeated and you just lie back on your chair until you hear a crack. Oh no. Not the chair breaking at the worst possible time. You didn't get hurt, right? 38 is not going to be worth the experience. Remove the Blissies? Were there ever Blissies in here? Or is that just something that a lot of ROM hackers end up doing? Fit a Blissey in here for EXP grinding. quite the extra bit of EXP. There were wild blissies in leaf green, huh? The heck is our path to get to the end anyway? I think we missed one of the paths while we were traveling up there. You like the joke theory that Mewtwo made the maze up there? Yeah, to be a pain. Mewtwo's just gonna sit there and do absolutely nothing waiting for a trainer to pop up. Kageyama actually beats quite a few of the Pokemon in this cave, so unless we get like a Parasect. Yeah, like here we can Psychic. Big damage. Are we actually... I feel like we get there from that center ladder. The one that we've passed by multiple times. Ah, you're not even holding the lucky egg. Still hits like a truck. Alright. You... We will take that. Eggs for Executors. Yeah, given the ominous spiral to get to that, I feel like this is where we should be going. Yeah, I think that's the ladder that we need, but how do we get there? Almost. Funny, trick fails if you're not holding an item. That would be funny if you could trick something just to take someone's item instead. Nope, that doesn't KO, so we get Future Sighted. We could honestly just Sleep Powder here. We'll get the health from Leech Seed anyway. I mean, yeah, Skarmory running Thief completely checks out. I didn't know that was a thing, but that's not a thing that surprises me to learn. I almost feel like we need to run through here with a Repel. We'd still need to level up quite a bit first, is the thing. Just because I need to be able to see which is the route that we take to get to the end. And then there's a whole nother below floor, right? This is looking like the path. Covet Shadow Ball. Oh my goodness. That checks out. So wild that Shadow Ball is physical in this gen. And so many Pokemon learn it. Like, Shadow Ball Metagross is a common and viable thing to be doing. What items are you specifically looking? Oh, Run Chesto, okay. So that functions more as just like a wall Snorlax more than actually a big damage kind of guy. Because you're sacrificing half the damage of Rest for that. Viable, yes. Common, not so much. I mean, if you have something that fills in a very, very specific hole in your team, go for it. After all, didn't an Ariados recently win a world championship? Win condition. So are you talking about specifically disabling one of their strongest Pokemon? Just from getting rid of the item? This could spell trouble. For exactly that reason. Yo! Kageyama the champion. Let's go! I didn't even know electrodes were in here. I wonder if, like, Thief Fling has ever been viable on any set. Like, that feels like something Gliscor could get away with. Because Gliscor gets away with too much. Let's be honest. Now that is a Ditto I'd like to take down. I'm guessing Big Nugget Fling for just a really, really heavy damage attack. I don't remember what every single Fling does. Fling's a really cool move, though. Another Gen 4 edition. Funny how we've won every speed tie like that. Hop on out there, Nitiri. Give us a good bite or two. I'm saddened we never ended up using an Arcanine on here. Arcanine's one of my Gen 4 favorites. Well, Gen 1 favorites, but I don't think Arcanine really does all that much in Gen 3. It's after getting the expanded move pool that Arcanine gets better. And then, I love Hisuian Arcanine. Head Smash Flare Blitz shenanigans, love it. I think that's exactly what Arcanine needed to get, I guess, back to underused relevancy, because I don't think Arcanine's ever been good enough to be OU, right? Maybe underused ban list in a few sections. But Arcanine's one of those Pokemon that I like just to throw on a team. I usually will just throw it on as like a fire type for me to use. Fire types I use are usually Heat Ren or Arcanine. Arcanine's not good, but I like how versatile it can be. Call my new On. We do need to get one named On. You, yeah, when we went through our playthrough of Legends Arceus, that was before you were around, Kahila, but that would have been a perfect name. Right. Intimidate spam. Yeah, that checks out. I love that you can even do shenanigans like defensive Arcanine, Intimidate, Will-O-Wisp, Morning Sun stuff. You just get to do a lot. Everyone's been getting some good levels in here. Yeah. I mean, like I said, Head Smash, Flare Blitz. Hisuian Arcanine gets, Rock Head, right? It wasn't Reckless. And should still get Wild Charge, right? Like, Arcanine deserves that after being just barely good enough for all this time. Oh, well, there you are. I forget what Mewtwo's move pool is in this game. We should still have plenty of Ultra Balls. We'll keep the first one that we successfully catch. Let's see. We want to lead with... I mean, Bugsy probably resists everything, but... I think we'll want to use Sidewinder's generally better damage. Or maybe even just some bites from Nitori to get... Psychic recovered to say... Oh, recover's gonna be the pain. Maybe this would have been a better spot for us to use, the Master Ball. And Safeguard checks out. It's gonna make the sleep problem huge. Maybe put not recover, leftovers on Scizor and then just Swords Dance. It's gonna hoit! It's a shame that False Swipe still has such weak attack at the end of the day anyway. Swift, huh? Like, if it had 60 BP, I think that would still get the point across. But it's a shame that, like, our best attacking option that we want to spam, we still end up not doing that much damage at the end of the day from just Swords Dance, False Swiping. Really? That much damage? Might have to give this one a reset. What an interesting move, too. Like, just, there's a whole bunch of Pokemon that spontaneously get to shoot little star beams at you. Yo, do we have any Kirby-mon ROM hacks? The star imagery makes me think of that. Hey, not bad damage. Psychic only has 10 BP. If not a project to do. I mean, we have way better development tools for Pokemon ROM hacks these days, if I remember right. That would be pretty precious. Yeah, Mewtwo really should. Smart AI can be a little bit too predictable, though, right? You remember hearing about a Kirby Pokemon thing at one point. I mean, that is something worth looking up. We are due for a break soon, so whatever happens with our Mewtwo fight here, it'll be time for our first break afterwards. You know what? For old time's sake, let's see if this works. Because my FireRed Mewtwo I caught in a luxury ball, and it will not be happening again. Okay, I think now if we switch and sleep powder. Ah, phooey. Ah, that was what I was fearing. That exact situation. Safeguard and recover. He's intentionally as impossible to catch as possible. Kahila, you should know by now that you are invited formally to Autism about anything here in the chat. Unless we got, like, other conversations going on at the same time, if it fills space in chat, I'm happy to hear about it. Only thing that's not approved is, like, trying to keep way off topic when we've already got a busy chat going on. But yeah, I mean, we usually have situations where just one or two people will be chatting at a time, and that's perfectly fine. You know, I think we can set up a little bit better for this, so let's just... Oh. I hit my reset button, but that's... I had the wrong thing selected. There we go. So let's get some leftovers on Scizor. I feel like Kageyama and Bugsy are going to be the ones most commonly out here. Are you holding leftovers? Yes, you are. Whoa! Big! Yes, unfortunately, I bigged myself. Oh. And you know, I'm excited for when I buy that Switch, too, from that friend. Because he's selling me a few of the games that he had with it as well. I mean, no use having those games if you don't have the console to play them with. And I think from his selection of games, y'all are going to be very, very excited because any of those games that he sells to me will also be stream options. Yeah, I think we start off with just going Swords Dance False Swipe as much as possible, and we will be right back after our first break here. Alright, and right as the music builds up, we are back in business. Doing this as a courtesy at this point, though I do feel like this might end up taking a bit longer than we're hoping. It'll be worth it, though. In fact, I'm almost tempted to just use Mewtwo if we end up having too much trouble getting through the Elite Four. Could even just make this go and catch a bunch of legendary stream. There's not really too much elsewhere that we can be grinding for levels for what I know. Like, picking your brain, Kahila, do you know if there's any designated level grinding spot in FireRed? Or are we already there? And go ahead with Tomodachi, by the way. I suppose this ends up being the best spot for it. I mean, realistically, the best level grinding spot would be the Elite Four, since that's trainers anyway. A forest behind the TV station. Interesting. But yeah, let's do it. I feel like Substitute would really help in this matchup. Just for getting a few resisted Swifts out of the way. Yeah, we're gonna start with the Luxury Ball for old-timey's sake every time, just in case. Yeah, not good enough. So is it, like, additive for the glow effects in Tomodachi? Let me grab my notes real quick. Wow, I have so many things to minimize through. Scratch that. I have way too many full screen things on my desktop. There we go, got my notes. Forest behind TV station. Black and purple spiral on floor. Please! Good enough, I guess. Between Recover, Safeguard, and everything else, this might just be... I mean, it's legendary worthy for sure. This might be too difficult of a catching challenge for us to do. Yeah. And I'm just gonna use max revives here. It's a shame we don't have a Breloom. I don't know if that's gonna KO is the problem. I don't want to try doing another Giga Drain. It'll get real close. But with the amount of RNG and the damage calculation, I don't want to go over. I guess we just swap back, like, once you're asleep, we just swap back and false swipe anyway. Well, I still need to grab me some new sticks anyway, Kahila. Ah, phooey. Wait, taunt is a TM, right? Do we have anyone who can taunt? Oh, we can't even check that while we're here. Oh, well, I guess we don't gotta worry about that anymore. Wait, there's the stronger Magnetons in here, too. Do they get Screech? Nothing on our team is going to be faster than a Mewtwo, but it prevents consecutive recovers and safeguards at least. Screech is level 53, so it is actually very close. We could Screech Mewtwo multiple times and just do a setup like that. So I think a little bit of better setup up front would be what we're looking for more. Snatch is a good idea, but can anyone on our team learn it? Yeah, no one can taunt, and do we even have Snatch? Yeah, no taunters, no snatchers. So, wait, who even gets to learn those? I mean, it's a dark type move, but we don't have too many dark types for us to be grabbing in the first gen. Gen 3 attack dex. Who can snatch? Which is such a cool move. Didn't they take it out in the newer generations? A lot of poison types can learn it, funny enough. Gengar, that would have been a really, really good choice. Chansey would be really, really funny with it. Yeah, not too many Pokemon that we have access to. Sadly. I think we get more access to Taunters. Really? Machamp can't taunt. Okay, why can Alakazam do all of these? You know what's funny? I think between like Magneton and Kadabra, we probably catch the Pokemon that we're wanting to use against Mewtwo in here. Oh, and you know what? You know what would be even funnier? Using a Ditto against Mewtwo. Just RNGing for the one time that, for the 50-50 chance that we don't get hit with an attack. What's actually inside a Pokeball? That's kind of ambiguous a lot of the times it's been discussed. There we go. There's a Magneton. Oh, and we have the exact worst Pokemon for us to have out here. Like, I'm just gonna look that up while we're mid-turn. And welcome, Ame. Delighted to see you as always. Yeah, given the fact that Pokemon can be stored on a PC, I feel like it's some... I feel like it's a USB stick, essentially. Just turns the Pokemon into data. Yeah, because it's always been shown as like a piece of metal technology, like electronic technology, basically. I'm trying to read stuff on Bulbapedia, but as you'd expect, it has so much data on here that I can't figure out exactly what it is. A USB stick made from fruits, also true. And Porygon Z is basically a Pokemon that was given a computer virus, except... Yeah, just like what Kahila is mentioning, Porygon Z. Which is an extension of the Porygon line, which is already a more deliberate DNA as data kind of Pokemon. It's also weirdly ambiguous. There's a lot of different things that count as Pokemon that you wouldn't think could count as Pokemon. Like, Deoxys is explicitly an alien. Somehow became a Pokemon. Pokemon were artificially created with the Porygon line. Magneton, you will help us catch the Mewtwo. And then otherwise we'd be grabbing Kadabra? I mean, Kadabra could... Oh my god. We need to get Bugsy out of the main slot. Wait, can we run? No, not the magnet pull. Alright, alright. And there could be VTuber Pokemon. Now that's some speculation. I mean, I feel like Electrode and Magneton are kind of natural occurrence. We call that Mawile. I mean, Mawile does look very much like it could be a VTuber. I always love Tri-Attack's animations. Of course, with me loving Porygon Z so much, I do love getting the chance to use Tri-Attack just as well. They're puntable enough. Welcome, Fuse. Mawile is a very puntable Pokemon. You see that thing snarling at you, barking with those teeth, and you're like, ew, just kick it aside. Unless it Mega Evolves, Mawile's not all that scary. I mean, have you seen our team, Fuse? We gotta represent Team Porygon, because I am absolutely on Team Porygon. Hey, Ame, look! It's one of my favorites. Cute little... artificial... duck. He's a goofy little guy. Okay, Sidewinder, you can take point. So if we get a Kadabra, evolve it into Alakazam, have it know Recover, Taunt. I don't really know how much that helps. Yeah, Mega Mawile you don't want to mess with. It's the duck that we throw at the goblins. Absolutely. I guess Mewtwo is some sort of a goblin in a different universe. Interesting side to see you on, Tito. It's been quite a hot minute. Light Screen is an excellent choice. Kadabra gets such a good move pool. I've never... Wait, no. I used an Alakazam on my Sun and Moon team. That's right. I was thinking, like, I've never used Kadabra either, but no, I have. I don't remember my Sun and Moon team very well. I kind of sped through that game. Like, the teams I remember are my Ruby team, because that one never changed, and my original white version team. Funny how the wild Pokemon we're finding here are higher levels than the ones that we've had for all this time. Do we go all the way out of the way to grab, mushrooms? I mean, Machamp could know Thief. We could grab more tiny mushrooms. Alright, we got the squad. It happened one morning. Yeah, one of the most frightening Pokédex entries. A boy with extrasensory powers awoke in bed, transformed into a Kadabra. I didn't know Alakazam could learn Thief. Well, I guess we get everything we're looking for. Not to mention, with them being dark-type attacks, they're all special attacks in this game, too. Good, we still have some escape ropes. Best animation ever. Where do we buy more of those? I guess those are just accessible in any Pokemart. Very good point. You could just TK items out of your opponent's pocket. There we go. Let's just get 10 of these, since we're probably not going to go through 10 more caves. And we'll keep an open slot in our party, too. I like how both times we've caught Magneton, it's like, yes, you're perfect for catching who we're looking for. Let's see. Zapatos, you can take a, side seat for now. And I guess Blocky, too. Oh yeah, I forgot we actually caught Ho-Oh. What are we waiting on? We could just go right back through the Elite Four. Adamant Ho-Oh, sweep the entire thing. Oh wait, I forgot. Y'all. It's Generation 3, Sacred Fire is still a special attack. Okay, you know what's funny? I'm having so much fun with FireRed, but the fact that we end up hitting a brick wall with this being Gen 3 and just FireRed upsets me a lot, because I'm looking so forward to the completion of that other ROM hack that staples FireRed and Emerald together. Because it's got the physical special split, it's got all the new moves from newer generations. It's built off of Enhanced Emerald, I think it's called. We are looking for, it's 4 Island, right? Which one of you got the move, Tuda? Or was it 2? I think it might have been 2. Right, this was where we had the daycare center. It was 2 Island that had the tutor. The tutor. I'm the Pokemon Move Maniac. I know every single move that Pokemon learned growing up. Let's do some teaching. -3? Are you saying -3 points for me making horrible puns? Oh, teleport would be useful too, but we already bought the escape ropes. I like how Future Sight is such an incredibly horrible move. Alright. Kadabra, I hope you're ready for drugs. Ah, you know, the ever so classic, level up in order for Kadabra to evolve. It's ya boy. I ought to use Alakazam a lot more. Which, by the way, Pokemon Showdown this Saturday, I believe it is, right? Yeah, because Sunday is the hopefully Barony stream. I don't think we need to worry about Snatch. Because we already have our own Recover to use. Taunt's gonna be a lot more reliable. Seriously, Alakazam gets such a good move pool. Heck, we could even just take Alakazam into the Elite Four and probably do better against most of our opponents than, say, Kageyama, for example. Wait, do you learn... I think you learn Hypnosis too, right? Pure Psychic in Gen 3 ain't it. You are entirely right. I'm pretty sure Executor works a lot better than... Huh, no Hypnosis. Calm Mind. You should have Screech. Yeah. Yeah, Screech. I don't know that Magneton really needs anything else. Yeah, nothing else really that we want for Magneton. Maybe Flash, for a joke. Sure, why not? Not Wobbuffet. Why not? With Light Screen, do we really even need it, is the thing? We could give Light Screen to both Magneton and... We're wanting to go for sleep. Though... Yeah, I think you've got a point. Thunder Wave, just to keep it on there, and then... Wait, doesn't Magneton learn Zap Cannon? That's gonna be in, like, level 60-something, isn't it? 62, and we do not have the time or the drive to necessarily get all those levels. We don't need those. You do have a point. I think Thunder Wave would be better. I do want sleep, but because we don't have that on... Oh, well. That's not gonna make anything better for us. I don't know why I flew there. Sleep Powder is only on Kageyama, which... Like, we switch off and then we ruin our whole Taunt, Light Scream, etc. setup. So Silph Co we go. And I forget which floor we're looking for. FireRed Silph Co map. There, we're gonna cheat. Do we have the Thunderwave tutor listed on here? Channeling our inner Billy Mitchell. Okay, I've got some good sources in... Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna... I do not have... Wow. I cannot find anything that just tells me exactly what I need. No one's got an image that has a key and everything I need on it. We'll recognize the floor. It should be easy to just walk in there too, right? Yeah, it should be that room over there, right? And I don't even need a walkthrough, I just need the map. I think it's funny how there's not even a direct path to the top floor from the elevator. Like, even the employees just have to go across all these ridiculous teleporters to get anywhere. Well, the case in this point, Tito, is, there's just so much misinformation everywhere that's hard to figure out where the actual information we're looking for is. Like, the information is there, but it's so difficult to find under all the irrelevant stuff in between. It's not that the information doesn't exist, it's just harder to find. Technology is all about mildly inconveniencing people. The industrial I don't think I should say that on... I shouldn't say that on stream. But genuinely, without technology, how would I be playing my video games? I would not have met all of y'all. We already used this teleporter. Yeah, no, it's one of the ladies in the red dress, I believe, right? Who has the tutor? I can't believe Kahila is just judging me. I'm thoroughly lost. Howdy, Zen. How are you doing? Hopefully you're less lost than I am. We don't even need to be here. We're just here for convenience. Okay, but lock-on Zap Cannon would go hardcore versus Mewtwo. Oh, there you are. Talking metaphorically or... Oh, wait. Alakazam can learn Thunder Wave too. Wait. Literally in this case, Zen, because I feel like just about everyone's a little bit lost. So, +1, -1, I don't know if you're specifically referring to... I don't know what you're specifically referring to, Kahila, no. Unless we're just talking about, like... stat boosts? I mean, understandable, Storm. I've been missing MechWarrior 5 so much. I've picked up other games to play and they're not nearly as satisfying. Why you're learning Fairy? Hey, let's go, Zen! Yeah, I gotta play more Grand Blue myself, too. I do want to maybe learn someone other than Narmaya, though. Oh, it's a Germa thing? I mean, checks out. Perfectly fine. Ah, Aaron! Welcome in! Thank you for being the first one on the stream. Who doesn't love Germa, though? I feel like Germa is one of those universally loved figures. Was that oh my goodness. Looking outside, it might storm, so... if we ever spontaneously vanish from stream, know that it's inclement weather. And here we go. Unfortunately, Aaron, I don't think you factored this into your plans. I have coffee in my glass right now. Because after all, I'm staying up late tonight anyway. So, your attempts to hydrate me are folly, as coffee tends to dehydrate you instead. So, ha 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 ha! Behold, Aaron, your Xander streamer shriveled up as he loses hydration from overdosing on coffee. Unless, of course, your plan all along is just to make me suffer. I mean, funny enough, Fuse, I think y'all know this, but we have an emote just because of... let me turn that off. We have an emote that Marky drew just because of it happening on stream one time. I think y'all have seen that one. That's the actual backstory to it. Good luck with your class, Fuse. Plenty more coffee for moi? In terms of animated GIFs, I think that's my favorite, Marky. The little fall down with the glasses afterwards is so perfect. Immaculate. Incredible. So we still need someone who can get through Lorelei, and I think after that we should be able to beat most of the Elite Four just fine. I mean, Coyotes is a hassle to make work anyway. But just because it's so content-rich, yeah, whenever we do get back to... oh, no. Well, at least Sidewinder can handle you. Because Coyote is so content-rich, I do think until it starts giving actual mod conflicts, we'll still be using it. Thanks, Wobbuffet. I've been thinking about learning Galleon. She's got like a lot of diversity in her move pool, which is really cool. Other characters I've enjoyed... I mean, I started out the game maining Zeta? I gotta check out some of the other characters too. Like, I liked, I gotta check characters that came out after the very, very first one. I am low-key, like, half grappler-brained is the thing. I mean, yeah, I think running it with Yama would be what we'd all want to do anyway. You know, that wouldn't be bad for a stream idea. I mean, before Rising came out, because, like, I played a lot of Grand Blue Fantasy Versus right when the game first released, and there's that entire set of DLC characters from the first game that I haven't really done too much with. Another Kadabra. Oh yeah, it is raining. It doesn't look like there's lightning stuff going on outside, but just know that that happens if we ever vanish off stream. I wonder what that would do to the VOD. I don't want Slayer with the DP. I do like offensive pressure kind of characters, but I don't like... I like characters that get in and try to high-low you or condition you into getting command grabbed. I don't really like characters like Slayer or, what is his name? Sora. Sora's was another character I practiced a lot, and he seemed really, really fun. But it was like, after Sora's came out, I hadn't been playing the first Grand Blue too much. Meg could be cool. I mean, yeah, point being, I would like to explore a lot more of Grand Blue. I really gotta practice, like, Narmaya in general, because she's still probably going to be my main no matter what. Kahila, are you talking about, a Grand Blue meme, or are you talking about Toho? Ay. Narmaya is execution heavy, but her game plan still seems to be relatively simple. Like, I like how complex of a character she is, but I feel like the mountain of things for me to learn with her plateaus out pretty early on. Kahila, I think you're someone who's going to figure out any meme that you can use in any context, because that would be your autism. So I think if there's another opportunity for ay to apply, you would use that even independent of its Toho meaning. I forget, Zen, did you ever want to try picking up Soku? But Galleon's fun because she has layers to a lot of her stuff with the command grabs, and the rock set plays really, really funny. Yeah, Fairy's really cool too. I'd give Fairy a try, but like, I've got 3 different friends who play Fairy. I like that she's got cool set play shenanigans, instant overhead, a lot of cool stuff. And yeah, Zin, if I have to play one fighting game for those kinds of characters, it's gonna be Grand Blue. Because in Grand Blue, it's easy enough to pick up a new character, and yeah, I'll throw it out there. I think in terms of waifu and husbando designs, I'm pretty sure Grand Blue is just the best out of any of the gachas. One, I'm proud of them for giving as much fanservice-y men, and fanservice-y NBs, as much as they have fanservice-y women. They also feel the most like real characters underneath everything else. playing Grand Blue for the plot. Yeah, that's another big thing. The diversity of it too. So we want to start with Swagnaton. I actually don't know anything about Limbus, so yeah, I can't really, like... Oh, warning for y'all, my lights just flickered. Everything else is still running, but there is a non-zero chance that we just vanish in the middle of stream. If stream dies, I think for safety reasons, I don't want to try again, even though I can stay up late. I'll call it quits if the stream ends up randomly dying. Ah, how dare you. Which is funny, I think the only other time our power went out, it was during a Pokemon stream. Also, wow, that was scary. And Mewtwo just smokes our entire team, I guess. Wow. Yeah, I think we Thunder Wave with Alakazam anyway. Yeah, let's just give this a real quick one of these. You play her to feel smart. I like that too, and you know what? I wish we had a Heian function, because the whole idea of... I wish we had a more authentic puppet character too. Do we even have a puppet character in that game? Zoe's also really, really cool for having delayed attacks and stuff like that, but, I mean, complex game stuff seems antithetical to what Grand Blue's usually trying to do anyway. Oh, Nier... Wait, that's right, I remember. Nier was, like, brain dead as puppet characters go, so, that was another thing. That was another big suggestion from a friend, was that, I should pick up Lowain. I mean, he's got a parry, he's got all the delayed set play kind of shenanigans. That is a very Xander core function. I don't know that he does too much else that I get a lot of fun with. Ah, every time. Yeah, I mean... I think at this point we could just end up taking the stream to explore Grand Blue stuff in general. I'd love to play that game a lot more. I get to do fighting games for y'all way more in general now, so that's a goal. I do enjoy a good silly guy. You just want a DPS with swords in your fantasy? I mean, we got a lot of characters with DPs, true. That was another thing. Siegfried seemed super fun. Yeah, Lowain putting everything up on your screen at once. Incredibly iconic. I think Safeguard runs out now? Yeah. And Mewtwo should still be taunted. So now that we have all this set up, we light screen again. Magneton will be able to survive through well, Yeah, we use Magneton because we want to get all the screeches out. Then we can have Bugsy do the max damage false swipes. Good luck, Zen, and thank you so much for stopping by. Between Safeguard and Recover, we don't really mind either of those. We're doing stat setup, so now that light screen's set up, we can switch. I mean, I think there's another mod that you can get, Storm, which just immediately removes the rescale. I like how Magneton gets both Screech and Metal Sound. You assume Magneton's doing the same thing to make both of those happen, right? Okay, so that should have hit each and every time. We don't have enough leftovers to give to everyone. Oh yeah, now I'm seeing lightning flashes outside. So that the VOD gets uploaded properly. I wonder if it would be better if we did just end up breaking once we got a good stopping point. Because that is worrying me. We're not usually streaming while it's storming. Yeah, I see the lightning flashes, I hear the thunder. And the only reason I'm worried about it is because it would, like, interrupt the YouTube VOD, I think. And I want the VODs to still be relatively watchable. I think that's all the damage we would have needed. I would love to turn it into a Discord Vibe Night Storm, except for the fact that I also have plans to be hopping into another chat with friends for Civilization later. So I'm split between potential obligations, like, I have a whole evening, but I've allocated other plans later, and I don't want to spread myself too thin over multiple things. Though a Vibe Night wouldn't be bad. I wouldn't mind just swapping over to playing fighting games with y'all for a bit. Or it... No, not Deadlock, because that would be a 30-minute obligation that I could end up dropping from at any time. Let me think about it, Storm, and it might still be a very maybe. I don't know how soon I'm starting. But the more vibeable nights are literally every other night this week. Allies light screen wore off. Good news is, I guess this means we get to stream more FireRed in the future. Yeah, let's taunt. If we can interrupt a safeguard or a recover, that would be super cool. There we go! Let's go! Yeah, after we catch Mewtwo, it'll have been like 2.5 hours anyway. That Swift is worrying me. I've been hearing a lot of people talking about Gitaru Man. I know I watched a stream of it like a long time ago that I barely remember anything a thing about. And Taunt wears off this turn, right? So is that something you're looking forward to, Kahila? It has been free. Oh, was it in sort of like a copyright hell for a bit? Vaguely. Okay, now you've got me interested. Alright, for old time's sake. Luxury ball. Darn! Okay, the fact that we don't have to keep reapplying sleep, I think, is extremely helpful. We'll just randomly get an extra free turn. We don't even need to spend time thunder waving again. It hoits! I can't even remember what the status of Taunt is. Isn't it only 2 to 3 turns and it doesn't even tell you this game? Oh. Doesn't even tell us how long it lasts. It's like guaranteed 3 turns in future. Hey, do any of y'all still have a window open? Alright, this is just to be checking things for the VOD? Yep, alright. Okay, checking with the VOD, it looks like we got a couple turns in, and then, yeah, we're gonna raid out. I'm popping back in just to say, hey, the lightning did in fact take out the stream, and just for the risk of it not happening again, we are going to raid out, yep, into Oak as you have suggested. Let me go find them on the friends list. So for anyone watching the VOD, what happened was, yeah, we didn't end up getting a power surge, so I'm not going to be streaming anymore for tonight just to make sure that we don't have any further chances of something like that happening. I'm going to go grab Oak's URL for YouTube. There we go on that side. And if there's any of y'all still here on Twitch, we will be sending out a raid to them shortly. Raid message will be on Twitch. We will be sending out. We've been thunderstruck because unfortunately that is the reality of the situation. All right. Do we have anyone still on the Twitch side? Okay, yeah, we got, I guess, some viewers, so let's go ahead. Thank you everyone so much for your attendance. Next, we will be doing more FireRed streams, and so I'll see y'all next week for that. Thank you everyone for your attendance. Class is suspended, I suppose, rather than dismissed. Yeah, hello Storm. We're back for a short moment, but we are raiding out just to give y'all a formally announced conclusion, since I'm not going to try to keep streaming while it's storming out here.